Okay, excellent. All right, shall we go around and introduce ourselves again?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Spirit. A psychology major. I think it says what classes we're taking next term, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Psych 469, the one that comes after the research statistics.
Okay.
They go together. It's weird. And then I'm taking wish I could remember off the top of my head. The one that dives into mental illnesses, the
Mm,
psychology class. And then I'm taking juvenile delinquency, I believe is what it is. And then the other one, I don't remember the other one. I'm taking another class, but I don't remember.
Are they all 4 psych classes?
I think there are 3 psych, and then one is the juvenile one, like
Is it
juvenile
criminal justice?
criminal justice. That's what it
Okay,
is.
that makes sense. Okay. So hey, I am Trisha McDonald and I am graduating next term. So I am taking, yes, yay, 2 communications classes and 1 master's and then an internship with Sarah to get my 12 credit hours. And yeah, and since we all have communications classes, I highly suggest the communications track as a minor or a major, as you ladies are doing.
I'm Sierra. I already told you guys my classes earlier, but I'll do it again for Sarah watching. So I'm doing intro into mass communications, business and professional communications, environmental communications, and communications and social change. In my degree, my major is communications.
Right. Alrighty, so we need to talk our past discussion norms and preferences and how we're going to track time. I did not start that again. I always forget to start time. Well, we started at like 8 after. So I think we do pretty good. Yeah, with our reciprocity and letting everybody have space. So, oh, we should mention McKenna has not shown up tonight, although we had adjusted our time and she might be dealing with volcano stuff from our earlier meeting. So we wish her the best and hopefully she will join us shortly when she remembers the meeting. So any other thoughts on anything that we need to change up or keep going on how we interact?
I don't think so. I think it's been all good
No?
so far.
All righty. And so part 3 is we had to watch the video, The Most Powerful Way to Think About Money by Paula Pant, and have a quote from the video that impacted us and use 2 different ethics from 2 different weeks to explain why the quote stood out to us. So who wants to go first?
I can go first. I got mine written down.
Okay.
So I really felt like the whole video was calling me out personally with money because I've been stressed about money lately, and I was like, I really don't like that I'm watching this video right now, but it's a reality check for sure. So the quote I put was, my personal feeling is that everyone should aim to save and invest at least 20% of their income. That includes saving and investing includes making additional payments towards a debt, personal savings, etc., so forth, so on and so forth. I wrote that down because I feel like that's something that I need to prioritize myself. I feel like I do have a savings, but my savings is there when my checkings runs out, and I just add more from the savings into the checkings. And I want to make sure that there's like something separate for me that I can use for something of importance. I want to feel like I have something put away for if anything goes wrong in any way in my life, that I'm prepared. And I feel like more than just about money, it's about safety. And I feel like if you have that safety blanket, then you can just feel more comfortable in your everyday life. And there was one from week 8 that I was connecting to it. It was value judgments. And obviously it's just talking about on what levels you put your values and stuff like that. And I feel like with money, you feel weird to value it in some ways, but I feel like the way I was describing it as like a safety blanket, if something happens, that is something that can help you. I feel like you put it on a different scale with your values. And I feel like you just look at it in a different way. And so I don't know, I just like this video because, like I said, it gave me a reality check, but then I was like, she's right. I need to start improving my own personal ways of saving and just helping my own personal life. Or she said we had to connect it to 2 weeks, right? So I have another one from week 6. They talked about status anxiety. And I feel like that's something that a lot of us like face. It was talking about more so of people who are wealthier, who want to stay in their kind of bubble. They don't want to be around people who are less wealthy, who aren't in the same category as them. But I feel like we can all be put in that way. Like sometimes I'll think like, oh, I'm just working at Old Navy. Like I'm just a broke college student. But no, I'm working at a job to continue my further education, to get my career and be happy in my life. Like I need to look at it in steps and not have status anxiety about where I am at life. I don't need to compare myself to other people. So I need to save for myself and for my own safety and security rather than how I feel about other people and what they're doing. So I just really liked the video. Like I said, it kind of made me a little anxious thinking about my own personal money problems. But then I was like, that is something that I really need to push myself to do, is just get myself that security blanket.
I love what you said about like how you like made that affirmation of like, no, like I'm not like just a broke college student. Like this is a step to like furthering my future and like what I can do. I really like how you did that. And I also like really like valuing money. It's hard when we like live in a society that's like marketing is like you need this, like you need the brand new one, right? And we don't think too much about like, what if something bad happens? Like what if my car breaks down, or something happens to my house, and like, where am I going to have that money to fix it? I really like what you said. It was really insightful.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Spirit, reframing your situation, right? And it's always, this is where we're at and this is good, right? It's not bad. It's not, like you said, taking the value out of it. I am a valued employee. I give good service. I am a student, right? It's not I am just. And so no, yeah, everything we do has value, no matter what it is, right? And we should always bring that with us to wherever. So you show up to whatever job you got. It's your job. Own it, do it well, right? Because you just never know. Mine is always the relationships you build, the connections you build. You never know how your attitude at whatever you are doing will influence those around you. And so that's, but security, that's also mine, because that is a huge thing for me with my upbringing and baggage and stuff. Money equates security. So that is a huge thing. And so it's very hard, like you're saying, you should do it to take care of yourself, right? To value yourself is why you should have your security, your savings account or things. But it's very hard, like Spirit is saying, in our consumer society, where it's buy. I mean, everything, even just a movie, right? You watch a movie and you're trying to do escapism and you're just going to relax, and you don't realize, but everything you're seeing is, marketing to try and get you to spend money. And so it's so insidious. This class really with our book has just kind of aligned that to me. Like we are just even unaware of how much we see just from brand placement and stuff. But yeah, I agree with you that you should, if you ladies can get your financial houses in order, just really by, this is how much I earn, and always spending less and being able to save now, the skills that if you learn that now will be huge for as you age. That will just take you so many places if you have the ability to budget your money and to look at it and not put emotions in it is really the key.
I think she said something about that in the video. She was talking about like the gap. It's either you make more or put more effort into getting more, or you spend less.
Spend
Either
less.
way, you have to make that gap bigger. And I'm just like, truth that, man. Like, honestly.
And it's not, I mean, mine is right. It's not a hard concept. It's not higher math. We're not doing calculus, right? But it is the most difficult thing in the world to do.
Yes.
Because you feel like it's like an old Revlon. I'm worth it. It's like I'm worth going to Starbucks and buying a $7 coffee. Yeah, you are. But could you spend the $7 on a giant jar of Folgers and have that at home and drink that for a month? And then every day you can put that $7 away. That's one thing they suggest in a lot of books about how to budget or get yourself out of a hole or things is if it's the latte effect. If you just don't have a latte a day and you just put that money into savings, it's really scary how much money you would actually have at the end of a year. Like really scary. Because think about it, even if you spend $4,
No
yay!
way.
Look at that.
Every freaking time.
But we love you anyway, so it's okay.
Sorry.
You're not driving this time, so it's all right.
I was literally just sitting here. I was like, doesn't start till 7.
Oh, till 7 your time. Oh,
I'm
a little bit
dumb.
different.
Really
No,
dumb.
you're good. You're overwhelmed. Well, we are glad we literally just started, like 12 minutes ago, because we knew you might be thinking that it would be later. So yeah, I mean, we just talked about the video. Sierra just talked about her thoughts on the video, and Spirit and I gave our thoughts on her thoughts. So
Makana, you
Yeah.
would appreciate my inspirational speech right just then and there about my money spending. I basically just said that I need to stop worrying about my status anxiety, or I need to stop having status anxiety, worrying about how I look to other people. So I need to stop worrying about like, oh, I'm doing this job, I'm a broke college student, and I need to focus on these are my steps to getting where I want to be in life and being happiest in life. And I also talked about in the video, they talk about she suggests that you save and invest at least 20% of your income, maybe doing it towards personal savings or towards a debt or towards certain things like that. And I was just saying how that's something I really need to focus on doing, because like I said, I have a savings, but I often just like take money out of it when my checkings is gone and take little bits out of it. And I need something that is actually there for like a security blanket. If something goes down and then something is bad, I know I have something there that can help me at least a little bit. That was basically the sum of it. So
I love. Ditto. Absolutely ditto. Totally love that. Thank you for sharing again. Appreciate you. Okay, I finally got on the dock. Wait, where are you guys again? You just talked about the video?
yeah, just number 3, which is kind of a lot of what the meeting's going to be, is responding to the video by Paula Pant about the most powerful way to think about money and linking it to your 2 different weeks. Do you want to go, or Spirit, do you want to go?
I will pass for current until I can get my screens to kind of go. Just get a little organized here.
Okay, I will go then. I definitely took a different route with this video. I made it not about money, so just bear with me. So my quote was, and so if you're looking out at the big global factors that are happening in the world today and you're feeling fear, embrace it and use the fear as motivation, as fuel to make wise decisions about how you spend your money, your time, and your effort. That's how you build a life that's more intentional. I liked this quote because there was more that you could build off of it just besides like the money aspect. It made me think about altruism I don't think I'm saying it right, but you guys know like the ethic theory. When hearing this quote, I think about like the bad things in the world and like makes me reflect on myself and like what I can do to change it, like not just for me, but like for everyone like involved. Especially the things that like maybe they're not like hurting me, but they're hurting other people. Like I want to like be a part of something that's helping other people, even if I don't have a benefit from it. And then week 6, I also had a connection to social contracts. So we kind of have like a social contract that like we're kind of into, like it's an invisible one, but like we're into obeying and like submitting to what is expected of us, and to feed the machine instead of using fear as like motivation, which is what she kind of like had touched on. But I just really liked that because most of the time, like we go on the news, right, and we get like for me, I go on the news and I'm like, whoa, like that's scary, and I just turn it on and I want to like avoid certain areas or avoid this and that, when it's like maybe we should be going like straight at it and like how, like what can we do to like change this, like what can we do to like make a change. um and then this one is like about money, but I really liked how she talked about passive income. That is something I'm like really intrigued by. I want to like figure out a way to do that at some point, because I think it would be nice to like have a source of income that's paying all my bills so I can like actually go and like do things, like make a change. But yeah, that was my response.
That is awesome. I like your quote because that is definitely very different. I agree with you about making a change and having an effect that is not necessarily based in money, right? Like money is not, if you come at it from money is not what drives us, you know, our values, our family, our relationships, things of that nature are more important. I think it makes you reframe it. Money is a tool, right? So if you look at it as a tool, not a goal, it is something to help you do what you want to do. What you want to do is help people. Awesome. How can I use this tool to do that? Right. And so that is a much healthier way, I think, to look at money, like you're saying, rather than, oh, I must have, or the newest things. But yeah, no, I think that's really good. Passive income is good. The more you save now and put into different investment accounts, and the longer, if you ladies save now, you can have so much money to do what you want, or to have the security like Sierra is talking about, or to support your community or whatever, and use the tool, because it'll just, grow on its own. You just put it in an account, let it do its thing, and you don't have to worry about it, and start working on that passive income you're talking about.
Yeah, I like that you interpreted it a different way than I did. Well, not totally different, but just not exactly just about the money. I was actually going to say something similar to what Trisha was saying. Like money should not be necessarily the goal, but it is something that helps you with your goal. Of course, it's always better to have money or connections when you want to like helping people. Obviously, to help people, you need to have means to give some people who need certain things. But if you don't look at it necessarily like, oh, I need the money to help them, more of it would help them if we all had some money to contribute, but that's not what's important. It's just helping them that it's important. And I feel like that's like the biggest thing with society, like you were saying. It's just like very materialistic. And it's something Trisha said earlier about when I said my quote is that like a lot of times it's better to gain connections more than anything. Like no matter what job you have or what you're doing, it's better to gain those relationships and those connections than what the income is going to be or what it's giving to you. So I really like the way you interpreted it. It was different than mine, but I feel like we can relate them still. So
Uh, I don't think that there's anything I can add that hasn't already been said, except that I noticed that your eyebrows are done and you have your makeup on. Cute. Also, Sierra hat. Also, Trisha, you had makeup on Tuesday, right? You were like all did. Yes.
Yes.
Gorge. I was gonna say something, but then I was like, wait, am I saying shit because I'm in the car? Anyway, um, yeah, I've thought about it in a similar way. And what you were talking about, Sierra, is the materialistic aspect of being able to help people reminded me of that video, and I can't remember what week it was on. And I really hope it was actually for this class and I don't sound crazy, but it was about this guy who was doing a TED talk about South Central. Was that this class? Wow, that was my other class. Well, there was this video about this guy who was starting gardens on the road in South Central Los Angeles. On that, like, you know, when you're walking on the sidewalk and there's like a little strip of grass. He was like, well, nobody's doing anything with it and it's my responsibility to upkeep it. So they started like this whole group and they just started growing stuff in front of everybody's house. And the city was like, no, because someone complained. But basically what he was saying was like, it doesn't take a lot of money. What it takes is an acuteness to realize like that there's a problem, one, and two, that the solution doesn't need to be this big old deal with the ribbon cutting and like, you know, a brand new facility. It doesn't necessarily have to be with money. It can totally be just like what you decide to put into it. Hold on 1 second. My husband is stealing my Switch. You think I don't see you? This man.
Whatever. Just
Get
because you're in a
out.
meeting.
Oh
Was that Michaela?
no, that's my friend Trisha. Get. Ahoy ho, bye. So sorry. So sorry. You know what's funny is he's gonna open it and he's not gonna know what to do because I was playing a game. So too bad for him. But yeah, it just made me think about that video. And I love that you didn't focus on the flashy point of that video, but you kind of went a different route and went underneath it. And I love that. Get it, girl. Question. Am I the last one to present my ideas?
No, I haven't gone yet either.
You go right
Do you
ahead.
get okay? You get your stuff up, girl. Mine is yeah, it's interesting how we're all so my quote was, and life is the ultimate limited resource. So when you practice being better at managing your money, you practice being better at managing your life. And I thought it was so hilarious because I know in our last meeting I mentioned this book, Your Money or Your Life, about money management and how to bring value. And then we watched this video and I'm like, look, that's exactly what it is. But same as, you know, what we've all kind of touched on, money is not the most important thing in life, but yet society tells us it is. And so we have to really struggle to swim against the stream of what society is telling us and to put our value on things that they should be on and not on the material things and not, like Sierra said, on the status things. You know, you don't have to go have the new iPhone 14 the day it drops or, you know, yeah, stuff, you know, you have to figure out what's valuable to you and be you. Mine is authenticity, right? If the new iPhone 14 is the thing you wanted and you saved up for it and that's the most important thing, great. If that's you, do you, but don't do it just because everybody else has it or says so or whatever. So my two things were week 3, virtues and vice. And it was kind of the principles of the golden mean. Like to me, you have, you know, it's balance. So how, you know, money is a tool. So let's put it, don't judge it. It's, you know, it's a tool to do what you want to do. And then also I agreed with, I think Sierra, you said social contract, and that's mine, is really making it so that, you know, it's the, how do we take care of other people? Is it, maybe Spirit had said, is it, you know, there's the social contract that is not explicit, it's the implicit one. It's the just kind of underlying things. It's not explicitly said, but and if we do that more, like McKenna is saying about the guy who started Grassroots to go plant food, right? You can buy seeds really cheap or just share them and do this and not cost any money, increase everyone's, healthy eating, increase their socialization, because now you're getting neighborhoods and you're meeting people and you're creating your emotional bonds, which is much more important, and everything. And that's kind of, to me, the more important, the social contract. How do we take care of each other? How do we use the tool of money to do so in a way that aligns with our personal values and those of the people that are important to us?
I bow to your expertise. That's great. Guys, wow, I feel so inspired. Like, I feel so inspired by this conversation, but like so uninspired because I don't really know what to say. But like, good job. Like, that's great. Absolutely. I love that you're able to tie in a book that you literally were just talking to us about. That's epic. But I definitely agree with the social contract aspect of the way that things go right now. Like, it definitely is that. Like, yes, I dyed my hair because I wanted to dye my hair. But did I want people to look at my hair? Abso-freaking-lutely, I did. Did I want them to say that I looked hot? Yes, I did. So, but I also feel like it's hard to. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My question is the only reason you dyed your hair because of what other people think, or is it because you like it? And it's great if they think you look hot also, but really, who cares, because you like it.
Yeah, it's very much that. That's very much my personality. Or we can talk. But like, I definitely am not. I'm not operating in a space where other people's opinions are irrelevant. Like, they definitely do hold meaning, especially those closest to me. Maybe not those who, I don't know, but like a side look from someone about something you did impacts you more. So I definitely feel like the choices we make are impacted by those responses that we get from others. And a lot of the time within that social contract that we have, like, saving is not popular. Taking care of your life is not popular. It's becoming a little bit more popular, like on TikTok. TikTok? Wow, I meant TikTok. Tickety talk. Where people are like showing their lives put together, or like, hey, my room is like a disaster. Watch me clean it. Like, those types of things are becoming slightly more mainstream, but still, to like not go out and buy food with your friends and not go out to dinner because you're trying to take care of your life and mental health, that's still not socially okay, I don't think. At least from my perspective. I'm sorry.
What? It's not sexy? Come on.
It's really not.
I
And
agree. It's not a new
unfortunate.
outfit to show everybody.
Uh,
That's funny. Yeah, isn't that, it's interesting, isn't it, when you take a step back from being in this society, when you can try and look at it more objectively, take our emotions out and everything, and you kind of go, what is it really telling us? So my question on what you're saying, I agree with you that the people around us, the people important to us, right? We value their opinions. And, we all have made poor choices in the past, and we want our close people to be honest with us and tell us if they feel we've made a bad choice, because that is how you learn, as you move forward from your mistakes. But I guess my question is, if you put something on social media and somebody made, a disparaging remark, do you feel it would, hurt you, or would you just go, yeah, whatever, I don't know that person, so it doesn't matter?
I think it depends on what the comment is. Because I think if you have specific insecurities about things, and when you post something and you're like stepping outside of that comfort zone and into courageous space, and then you get stung, I feel like there's instances where it doesn't quite matter if it's
Who
someone you
said
know
it?
or not. But like, if it was someone you know, it would hurt a little bit more.
Yeah.
I feel like
Agreed.
there's so much context to one of those situations that could either make it go really, really bad or very much like,
Whatever.
shut up. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of depends on the situation.
Interesting. Okay. That is good. Do you have any quotes or anything you want to share, McKenna?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna let the floor be open in case our fans wanted to comment. But I can go ahead. That's fine with me. So my quote is, you have the freedom to do whatever you want, whether that's to stay in your current profession, make a midlife career change, become a full-time parent, or travel the world. Whatever choice you want to make, you're able to make that without having to sweat about how you're going to keep the lights on and how you're going to keep the fridge stocked. So that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now. So I felt a little called out, but that's okay. So the first sort of week, I guess, topic that I thought of was this section. What did she name it? The pursuit of happiness in the American dream. Cause I was like, that's on point. And the section about like, or the word natural rights kind of just brought that up for me. I just recently went to an info session for a super cool fellowship that I'm going to be applying to at the White House. And that was, I know, cool, right? And that was kind of like the main thing they talked about was how like America's amazing because you get to choose. You get to choose what you want to do with your life. And in a lot of countries, as a woman, especially a POC woman, that is not a choice I would have. So it just made me think about sort of that. And I think that also spills into like social contracts on the other side of it. Was it explicit, I think? Yeah, like laws and stuff that we are in a society that, although it can be an incredible challenge, it's still within our rights to try and do whatever I want. I can go to the hair place and dye the bottom of my head blonde because I want to. And I have the ability currently in my life to make money doing what I love, which is a privilege, but also something that I got to choose. Also, if I choose to change it, it's okay. The second sort of like topic kind of brought me back to like Kantianism and like the effects that your choices have. Kind of like you, spirit. Just the idea that like it's difficult to see yourself as a individual while also being part of the collective. And I think that also can tie into double consciousness, where like I want to make the best decisions for me, but I also have a partner. I also take care of my mom. I also have a network of people that like this fellowship is a 1-year commitment in DC. So that means I would have to move, leave my family, or my family would have to move with me. You know what I'm saying? So like although I have the right to choose, part of being human is being aware of the relationships that you have. And if you're not aware of those things, then you become an ass. And I don't want to be a donkey. So, just, yeah, that's what I took away from it.
I love that. That was super insightful. And your hair looks great. Hair looks very good. I liked how you talked about like the double consciousness to it though, because there is like very much that dual thing where it's like, like how can I do right by myself, especially like money wise, like just when it comes to money, like how can you save for yourself? But also like you said that you're taking care of your mom, like you have other responsibilities and I'm sure other sources that do take away some of your time and your money. And it's like, how can you do right by you, but also do right by other people? And think that was great. I also really liked how you talked about like how we have choices. I think that's something that I forget a lot. Like we live in a country where I can go and like you said, get your hair done, or I can change like what my career is. I don't have to like be at home and like take care of my kid. I don't have to stay at home and be the, what do they call it, like the caretaker, right? And it's just really, it's really awesome. I'm super grateful.
Yes, your hair looks great. I also meant to say that last meeting, but we all got caught up. We thought our sound wasn't working. We didn't know what was all going on. But yeah, what you say has definitely some truth behind it. I definitely feel like society has a lot of expectations for us, but not necessarily the steps to get there. Like just for example, just for money, there's an expectation of, if you get a career, you're supposed to have a good career with a good job and then have a lot of money, but there's no steps in, okay, but you actually need to save that money in order to actually have a lot of money and be wealthy. And you actually need to plan things out. And I think Trisha said it in one of during her talk of like the golden mean. Like you talk about what would be an ideal place to be, but you don't talk about the steps to get there. And you kind of just, there's these expectations of society, but we're just kind of left hanging of, we're going to try to get there, but we don't really know the steps to get there. And it's like, I feel like a lot with like, it's same thing with our choices. Like we have these choices and we know we can get there. We know we have the power to make those decisions, but no one really gave us the steps to get there or told us that there's going to be these things that you're going to get caught up on, or it may take a few years longer than you think, or some of these other things, but no one really helps you with that. So I feel like as a community, we just need to be better at helping get to that step, because we all can do it, but we just all don't know how to get there yet. So I really like what you were saying about like the double consciousness and everything, just like battling with ourselves and then also battling with trying to help others as well. But it's like, it's hard to try to help yourself and others. You never know, because if you're like me, you feel guilty for trying to focus on yourself, and then you feel guilty for not focusing on yourself. And so it's really hard in the society to balance it. So I think that just like being in a community, which I feel like Makana, you're really close with your community. So I feel like I'm really jealous about that. I really admire that about like your culture and everything. So I hope that I can get closer with like my own neighbors and my own community and be like, hey, if something happens, like you can come knocking on my door. I don't have a lot of means, but I got a roof. If your roof is gone, I got a roof, so that was just my thoughts.
I love that. Also, girl, if you ever need a roof, I got a couple roofs.
Yes, all of
Also,
you.
like,
All of
gotta
you.
pay for your ticket. You know what I mean? Yeah, but always got a roof and food.
Havesies.
Yes.
When you talked about like the steps, it made me think of like earlier, it was before you came on, Makana, we were just like chit chatting, waiting. Like all of the steps I have to do to get like my license to become a counselor, they don't tell you like any of that stuff. They're just like this is what it is. You have to like go out, you have to research, and you have to put in time and hours, and there's a crazy amount of steps just to even get to that point where you can make that money, or you can like do something further.
Wouldn't that like totally also make sense in the context of university? Like, I don't know about y'all, but like I was always told to go to college, but ain't nobody told me what that meant. My cousins were like, take those loans, get those loans, girl, get that money. And I'd be like, I got a refund. Yeah. Woo, let's go. And then I was like, wait, I have to pass? What up? What?
I
Oh no.
genuinely feel like I wasted my whole first year of college simply because I just had no idea what I was doing.
Right?
Know what I mean?
Right? Girl, and then okay, on top of that, my first year at Woo, this island girl went into the winter. So they wanted me to go to class in the snow. No, ma'am. But then I got docked, and then it was like, your financial aid. And don't even start with financial aid. Don't even start financial aid. So it's like, it's definitely mirroring our society, I feel like, where like they advertise that they want you to have a voice we're rooting for you. You can do this. Okay, but it's also going to cost you a crazy amount of money. We're not going to tell you how to do it. We will definitely fail you. And you will be crying a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, also can't guarantee you'll get a job. Because everybody's getting master's degrees now, so you'll probably have to start again. Like, no. But I definitely feel like where that will affect you in your future, and you're not even prepped for it. And then all of a sudden it's just like boom. Oh, did you want a house? No. Did anyone tell you that if you take out loans and you can't pay them back, or like you pay them back so slowly, you don't have the credit score to get a house? I have such shit debt right now because of school. I can't buy a house. They won't let me. How about it was like, no. So now I have to live with my mom for the rest of my life. But I'll have a degree in communications from Western Oregon University. You know what I'm saying? It's just not.
Obviously, that's all you needed, girl. That's all you needed was a piece of paper.
That's what Woo thinks. That's for sure. They're like, she did it. She's gonna make it.
Ouch.
Nah.
You know,
it's just
I had the same because I took loans out when I started school in the 90s. So I went to school for a year and a half. And now it was a lot cheaper back then. Because remember, ladies, this is literally 30 years ago. It was when I went to freshman year in high school, or college. I had $7,000 worth of school loans for my year and a half. And I didn't have a piece of paper because I didn't finish anything. And so, yeah, I did the same thing. Like I flunked out my last year, didn't go to class and stuff like that. And so I just had to pay them back, at my $25 a month for a while. But I didn't have very much because I didn't go very long. But I always say, number one, if you don't have fiscally smart people in your life, you are not educated at home on how to save money. Because if your family is always living paycheck to paycheck to pay the bills and to have maybe a little bit of fun stuff or Christmas presents or birthday presents, then they don't have the skills to tell you how to save and have an emergency fund and have investments, because it is not in their language, because they were never told that either. And so then you do something, and maybe you're first generation to go to school. And so you're never educated on what this means. And school is not going to turn you away, right, McKenna? They're going to say, hey, come on down. Look, just sign here. Just sign here. It's all
we want. We want you. Fine. You're so amazing. And I was like, oh, you like my hair? Okay.
Exactly. So yes. I've always believed ever since I started, and actually I think we need to do it in high school. We need to actually have a budgeting class, and it needs to go over mortgages, and it needs to go over school loans, and it needs to give you hard data so that when you're a junior or sophomore in high school, you can go take a class and see, hey, if you take $40,000 out for a year of schooling, this is what it's going to cost you. And this is what your interest is going to, and like this needs to be on a piece of black and white, right? So people can really make that decision, make an informed decision. Their families can make an informed decision, but yeah, it's a harsh lesson, so hopefully
the people in my life tried. I think they tried to give me all the links to the resources. But when I was 17, I did not care about a mortgage. I was like, okay, and
whatever.
So I think it's also like the values that you grow up with that are instilled. Like I just realized while you were talking that my mom's love language made me think she was a millionaire.
She likes to buy you gifts.
Well, it was just any time I said I like something, I had it.
Yeah, right.
And that was like her thing. So now I do that with the people around me. They say they like something, they get it. But now I'm broke.
Whether or not you can actually afford that.
It says my mom. like we're,
Yeah.
but we don't act like we're broke. But we
Right.
we definitely are.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys hit on my little soapbox. Financial education is like my thing. Like Spirit is saying, if I could help people, if I could create a community nonprofit that would go and teach people how to budget and how to do their money. This is the money. Like, honestly, we've all seen the loan consolidators and stuff, right? But they're not in it to really help you. They're in it to make money. Right. That's what we have to look at. Okay. But something like that, where it's just someone going to help you. Okay. This is the hole you're in. This is your income, and we're going to get you out of this. And this is how you're going to do it. And you know what? It's going to suck for a little bit. But if you do this, you can get out of it. And then you can be on the positive side. Like, that to me is such a huge thing. But the more we see, you know, the whole problem with poverty is, the reason it begets poverty is not because people aren't smart or intelligent. It's because they're not given the tools to how. If you're always struggling to pay the bills, to put a roof over your head and put food on your table, you don't have energy or time or emotional bandwidth to do anything else. And it's like, you know, there's just nothing more if you're always just getting by. And so that's just my biggest thing, is we have lost so many generations of it. It's just showing a different way of things. But yeah, that's a good point on your love language and stuff. That's a huge, but it's the emotion, right? Because you're showing your love, and that's the hard thing with the money, is the emotion. But amazing as usual, ladies. Shall we move to number 4? We have to craft our brain trust of info. I figured we can just put it on our magical Google Doc of love. That's what I forgot to start on our I had thought about that when I was doing all the homework for this, and going, okay, we can just put our stuff, because we all have to put the same stuff when we submit the meeting. McKenna, do you have bandwidth to do your magical mystery video stuff again? Yes, awesome. And so we'll do the link here, no, I just forwarded you that email, right? That's what worked last time. Okay, excellent. We can do that. Okay, so what's everybody's thoughts on, so we need to get a unique list of top 5 to 10 theories, quotes, media, assignments, or skills. We need to create a title that is using alliteration, and we each need to submit the same list with the names of our team members. Anyone wanna? Well, I'm gonna throw a video in then, because I was looking through everything when I was looking at this, and it is from week 2. And for some reason, I have no idea that I do not remember watching this video back in week 2. So maybe it was hiding from me, but it was the Oprah video. She was on the Trevor Noah show, and it's called Oprah Platform as Force for Good. So if you want funny, ironic, I don't know, karma, she was the reason she was on the show was he was interviewing her about her new book called The Path Forward. Nope. Sorry. And that's not what it's called. And so I was like, okay, so what book was I finishing in Audible last week when I was looking at the homework? The Path Made Clear. Excuse me. Why, yes. That would be, you guys probably can't tell, but that would be the book that Trisha was listening to on Audible, was the one from week 2 that Oprah was on the Trevor Noah show saying. And the damn thing made me cry every day that I listened to it on my drive into work. And I don't suggest wearing mascara and eyeliner and then getting to work. And I'm like going like that before I go up. So, but Oprah's point is what she found out really early in her career, was she used her path for good. She always, and you can see is back in the 80s, you can see where she started down when she got her own talk show, kind of doing, I don't know if you guys get the Jerry Springer reference or the Geraldo Rivera, right? And it was all conflict television, right? Let's get the two brawling sides, right? And Geraldo Rivera got his nose broke with the chair and everything. And that was the pathway that she kind of was starting to go down, because that's what talk shows were back then. And she says in this video that she had some racist group, white supremacist group on her show, and she thought she was showing the world how wrong they were. And she realized they were using her platform to get their message out. And that was the last time she did any kind of TV like that. She said, I will only use my platform for good. So she never, ever fell down that path. And I feel that's like her show lasted as long as it did. And everybody else's show was canceled, because as soon as that style of society, as we went away from that, then obviously they weren't having the audiences, where I would hope society will never get tired of people, showcasing good things. So yeah, that one is really, that video really resonated with me.
So do we need to put that into a theory? Yeah. Is that what she's asking for this question?
Nope.
No.
It's just a list of 5 to 10 either theories, quotes, media assignments, or skills.
Oh, okay.
So I put the Viola Davis winning lead actress because
Yep.
that was my favorite video. Not us doing all videos. We should totally do all videos. That'd be
No.
epic.
Right.
I mean, mine was a video.
It
so,
was? What is
yeah.
it? Which one?
To this day, I don't know if you guys remembered that one. It was about a young man who was talking about his life, and
The TED Talk one?
yeah, he was talking about how he was bullied for being kind of a chubbier kid, and there was an incident where he fell out of a tree, and an investigation took place with his grandmother because there was just miscommunication. And he basically just talks about his whole life dealing with basically mental problems of being bullied, and he talks about a lot of other friends of his that were bullied. But I picked one because I've been played this video from elementary school to college, or
Wow.
I would say middle school. It's probably most likely middle school, but from middle school to college, I've been played this video, and it makes me cry every single time. It doesn't matter how long it's been. It's just, I don't know if it's the way he talks about it. And like at the end, I will never forget it. He says, to this day, I hate pork chops. And I will never, ever forget that quote from him. But the quote I got from that video specifically says, but that's what we're told. Stand up for yourself. And that's hard to do if you don't know who you are. We were expected to define ourselves at such an early age. And if we didn't do it, others did it for us. And that video, I love that video. And it's super, super sad, but it really, I think, as everything in this class does, speaks on society and what kids can be cruel. It's really what it is. And it affects you growing up, and it affects your values and the way you raise your own children. And so I just really liked that video because it makes you look deeper into it. It's not just bullying. That's going to affect that person for their whole life and their kids' lives and their grandkids' lives. So I really love that video, and I'm glad to be shown it in college still. No surprise there.
I love that video. I had to like watch it in segments because I was at Starbucks and I was crying.
It makes me cry every time, every single time.
And it was like also the use of slam poetry within that. Like
Yeah.
he's talking as if it was a normal lecture, and then
Yes. Oh,
and the violin. Oh, yeah, no, I love that one.
yeah. The
I changed my
rhythm.
video. I'm so sorry, I changed my
Why?
video.
No,
Cause
put yours in there too.
I
No,
forgot about
Mauna
Mauna
Kea is good
Kea.
too. Put it up. We have up to 10 things.
Are you
Put,
sure?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Put Violet in there. It was an amazing,
Okay,
amazing, you know,
I can do
call
that.
out
I cried
to
in that one
people who
too.
need it. Yeah,
I cried to a lot of videos. I cried to that one too.
yeah,
Thanks a lot, Sarah. You know,
yeah,
cry over
yeah.
here.
right.
Our poor
Um,
mental health. We're over here crying on assignment. Oh,
now, so was the Mauna Kea one the one with your auntie?
yeah. So I just picked that one, but honestly, that whole section, like I talked about it that week.
Yeah.
The feeling of being seen that I got by just scrolling down that page and seeing that word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially after our previous meeting where we had talked about the beginning of the class being like, okay, it's all dead white guys. What's going on? Right.
I swear it's based off of our meetings here. She does them. I
I know.
swear.
No.
We influenced the class, y'all. What?
I think she was just sitting there listening to our meeting going, moo ha 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 ha. Moo, just you wait, Makana. Moo ha ha. That's what Sarah does. Yeah. In her
But it
office.
also like reminds me too of what's going on right now. Like there's a bunch of stuff happening right now that is in very similar tone to what was happening on Mauna Kea. I mean, we had the lava flow,
Mm-hmm.
but because it's threatening the military base,
We
the
didn't tell
military-
Spirit that. We told her you were involved with that, but we didn't kind of get into. So give Spirit a little
Oh, okay.
synopsis.
So Mauna Loa has interrupted for like 40 years, and we never thought it would. It's been very dormant. Like it doesn't rumble, there's nothing. And then all of a sudden, the past couple of months, there's been like 6.2 earthquakes that have been happening at the core of the mountain that erupted on November 28th. And November 28th is our Hawaiian Independence Day. It was the day that we got a certificate signed by all of the United Nations recognizing us as the Kingdom of Hawaii. This was post or during the overthrow. So we were being illegally occupied by the US. And so it was like such a big deal for us. And the lava flow itself is going directly towards the military base that has been bombing the island. So yeah. So the Hawaiians were like, yes, you better work. Yes, Tutu. Tutu means grandma. We think of Pele as our grandma. And it's following the same pattern as it did 40 years ago, except that it is going much faster. She's on a mission. And so originally we're like, yes, this is a sign of land back. Like we're trying to get our land back. The land is not doing it anymore. It's tired of being bombed. But what's happening is because it's going directly towards a military base, the military sent out a statement and they want to divert the lava, which is very dangerous for those involved, but also can harm the landscape around it that it wasn't meant for, and any wildlife and things like that. So there's a lot of negative consequences. And so obviously the Hawaiian people are like, that doesn't make sense to do that for a place that shouldn't be here anyway. But the argument is, if it was a Native Hawaiian community, would we be taking these measures? Would the military be trying to divert the lava? No, because it happened in 2018 and you guys just let it go, which is what we asked for, but there was no objection, right? Like, so there's a lot of controversy happening right now. It's also becoming a media circus. People can't even get across the road, and there's one road that goes across the island. People can't get through because everyone's stopping on the side of the road to take pictures. All the tourists are now flying in. Our flights are overbooked. I have family stuck on another island because they can't get a seat on a flight. Like there's so much attention right now to the situation. It's also being spinned in a very weird way. Like it's saying that it's displacing communities and it's not at all. And then the government has also like hinted at the fact that they're going to use this diversion as an opportunity to go up for the 30-meter telescope. So because it's right at that base where people are, taking pictures. So now our Kia'i, our protectors, have to go back up and start living up there again to just make sure it doesn't happen. That was a very long-winded explanation, but that's kind of what's happening right now here. So that's why, yeah, it meant a lot to me that was being recognized on such a big scale. Also, I told you guys I'm going to be in the movie, right? Did I tell you guys that?
No, what you talking about?
I'm going to be in Jason Momoa's new movie about Hawaii. We're filming next week, but
Woohoo!
the reason I bring that up is because he also made a film about Mauna Kea, and he also came as a protector and stayed for a couple of months on the mountain. And now he is in the news for doing the opposite. So he's filming, but the site that he's filming at, he took over, kicked out a farmer's market for 3 weeks, and is not compensating any of the farmers, and completely is taking over all the land to film. So nobody can go fish and nobody can go hunt. We're like, bro, what are you doing? Sorry, that's just a side tidbit that I was like, I heard that today and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? But yeah, I don't know if you still want to come over, Sierra, but you're still welcome. There's just a lot of drama right now.
You said I had a roof, sister, so I'm expecting that roof there.
Yep. I'll
And you
even
have
give a pillow.
sunshine.
Yeah.
We have a lot of sunshine.
And
but
we had
also
snow
rock
today.
rain.
That's
Really?
true. You have ash, but I had snow outside I have a picture of snow on the ground today at 3:00. And then well, beautiful, she says, because she doesn't have to walk to class in it. And then it was gone by 4. My boys got home. It was all melted. It all went to rain. But yes, so you're right. You do have black rain right now, huh? So is the volcano is throwing ash also?
Yeah, so it's pretty far away from most people. So right now it's just VOG, which is volcanic air.
Volcano fog.
Yeah, so we have fog and VOG. VOG is a lot harsher.
Yeah.
And affects a
Yeah.
lot of people a little more. But the contrast is Mauna Loa, which is right here, erupting. Mauna Kea, which is literally across the road, covered in snow. And there was like a blizzard the other night. So like my island's going crazy.
Right? Grandma is
yeah.
acting up, huh?
Kind of like grandma's like, hey, you want to party? And all the elements were like, yes, like I got the snow. Like it's just a lot. It's a lot.
That sounds like a lot, girl. Okay, so do we all, let's see. Spirit, did you have, what do you want to throw on the list, girl?
Why medication is the new caffeine that Emily Fletcher talks at Google. I think we had it for like a podcast on week 8.
Week 8?
Yeah. It's not a podcast, but she like had us do it as a podcast. I really liked that video because she talks about like specifically when she's talking about how like we think like running on stress is a good thing, like it's motivating us, right? When in reality it's not. It's actually like, really bad for your body most of the time. And she brings up like the evolution part where it's like if you're running from like a jaguar, right? And you go into like flight or freeze, like, you know what I mean? And like taking that second to like pause and like meditate and like bring yourself down so that way you're not like running on stress. Like I know me specifically, like when I'm like anxious or I'm stressed, I don't articulate as well. I'm not intaking as like I'm like not functioning as well as I should be or like as I can. And that's just from like the adrenaline and all of those other things. That's like my life is in danger, like evolutionary wise. Which one thing I did want to bring up too is like I know I was talking to my therapist. That sounds just anyways, like a couple weeks ago, and we had brought up like anxiety, like stopping and drinking water, which it doesn't work for me, but it does work for some people, and it's like for that exact reason. Like if you're in a situation where your body thinks like life or death, right? You wouldn't take that second to like stop and drink water. So it like helps calm you down and bring you back down to baseline. And same with like meditating. I think meditating's more effective, but it's hard to do when you're at like such a high, right? Yeah, I really liked that video.
Epic. That's totally such a good tip. I feel like I'd have to go to the bathroom all the time, but still, great tip. Also very good for your skin. Also, it's so funny because my best friend called me yesterday freaking out because he drank a 5-hour energy because he was so stressed about not getting something done for a deadline. And he's like, I have to go. And he's like, I can't stop shaking. And my eyes hurt. And my head, I don't know what to do. And literally he had to completely reset his body to where he laid down in the dark, cold compress, and like just didn't move with no sound. And so I think about that a lot where I'm like, the more I stress and the more I'm anxious about this, the less I want to do anything, the less I can do anything. And then I'm even more stressed because I didn't do anything. It's just a bad cycle. But I love that video. I'm glad you brought it up. Do we want to do more? Because we have the minimum.
Yeah. Do we want to put anything? So one of my concepts, I guess, or themes was the double consciousness that we touched on earlier that we were talking about. I think that was a huge thing. And I kind of link it to also like intersectionalities, like we're talking about, you know, your women and then what your culture is and what your if culture is, and are you a parent or not? Are you a child of a living parent? You know, but you know, what are we? And how that all, and to me it it kind of goes along with the double consciousness of what are you presenting, your identity, and all of this stuff. I just think that's a really important concept, just moving through life, and to recognize how different we all are, but how the same we all are, and to be able to pull that together, because that's the differences are what make us fabulous, right? Because if we all had the same experiences, like it would be really boring. And so we just have to learn to encompass all of the differences from us and accept them all. So that's my biggest, I think, kind of theme. Anybody else got something else?
I don't know, it's hard. I think the way that this class is structured makes it really easy to pull key things that I learned because they like kind of stuck in my head. But then I feel like I'm just saying the whole class, and I don't think that's the assignment. So I don't know. I like our list. I'm happy to add anything else anyone wants. I like it a lot though.
I was thinking of that video, The Moral Side of Murder, because I felt like it was either one of our first meetings or a second meeting. I felt like that was the point or the topic for us for a majority of the meeting was that specific video. So I feel like that would be good to put in there. And then it was also like you said, Makana, something that I felt like from the class like really stuck with me. And I see that scenario in in TV shows and different things everywhere, that same exact scenario. I see it all the time. So I thought we should include that one since it was one that we talked about quite a bit.
I feel like I want to talk to that dude.
Right.
Coffee.
He's the guy who wrote our book.
I'd be so over it at the end of it, but I totally would be interested in just like, hey, what you think?
Your mind would be like mush at the end and be like, I don't even know now.
Well, let's see. I think he's at Harvard, which is in the Northeast. And if you're doing an internship in DC, you're a hell of a lot closer. Just saying. And it's all about relationships and about people you know. And
on,
so,
you know me at this point. You know, I would just find his office and walk on in.
yeah, but do you want to
I
go
mean,
to office? You
nobody.
want to go to elect? Yeah, you're fine. I mean, you know,
I'd be
you're
like,
right
"Bruh,
there. It's only like 2 hours
saw your
away. You're
video.
good.
I like talk to you. I saw your video.
Yeah. And read your book. Don't forget you read his book too. You can take the textbook with you and he can sign the textbook. Yeah. So no, I think that's good. Spirit, do you got any more that were on a list for you or?
No, I'm good. But at the
Good.
end of the, do you guys want to see? My son got his first school pictures, and I was gonna show you guys because he looks real cute.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
definitely. So, okay, so we have these, do we have 7? Really, I can count. 6, 7. Yes, 7. I think that's lovely.
Okay.
And so, and everybody has access to the Google Doc. Right? And so we can all then just copy the Google Doc. So we do need to get our alliterative title. Look at, I saw your title there. Okay, Spirit. So you got the video, the pictures there, or
Oh.
what are you?
Yeah. He's so cute.
He is so cute.
OMG. He's
so-
going to hate that blue background when he's an adult.
Oh yeah.
I hate
And
that.
that button up.
I
for
always
sure.
regretted the blue.
No,
Never
it's
do the
so,
purple though. The
it's
purple brings out
classic.
greens in a very weird way. Do not do purple.
Green.
Oh,
The
Green.
background
green.
is the move.
I like the gray too, because then I felt like kind of like, you know what I mean? That made me skinny, but like I think that's a female thing.
My mom always got me the blue. Always. Was
you
not
know,
with-
Our senior photos are on the blue. Tell me about it.
to me, the blue is like what makes in when I was in grade school, all you young whippersnappers, literally you couldn't choose the different backgrounds. It was the big old thing behind you that they took the picture on. So they only had blue. So that was the background. So to me, that is like synonymous with what a grade school picture is. So because that was the only thing that you got. But yes, I love with my boys, we go in. So that's interesting on the purple. My oldest, that's his favorite color. So he has multiple pictures, but he's normally wearing a blue shirt. So it stands out and he has blue eyes and it really makes his eyes pop. But yeah, we like the fancy, like the little fuzzy lights. And I think my one's, you know, he likes to choose, my other son would choose all the different ones. So yeah, we did fancy stuff. I'm telling you.
The last time I
So-
did fancy stuff was Sears, circa 2002.
Ah,
Had a big ass letter and like a number. And I was very much a posy baby. Yeah. Mhm. Had an
awesome.
ukulele on one. Yeah.
There you
I
go.
was cultured. It was great.
That's hilarious.
I was making a joke, but actually I think it kind of works. What about weekly whippersnappers?
Snappers. We have the W's and the double P's. Look at that.
We could
Like
add another W if we want to. Then it'll be
I know.
WS.
Was
So,
I like it. Anybody else? Works. We could have, yeah, you could have a silent W in front of the snappers. You know. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Y'all are whippersnappers. I actually in my other class we have a team name and it is like 8 words that all begin with W and then it's Wolfies at the end. This is my master's level class and a team wacky something 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 woo 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 Wolfies. I'm not it's like 5 words. Yeah, it's hilarious. So the professor would just go, okay, Wolfies, and one of them would go, no, you have to say the whole team name. It's great. It was great. Yeah, it was fabulous. It was hilarious. The rest of us had really short names, you know, and then they're like, so this is lovely, ladies. So lovely. Okay. So we all just need to put this in with our list of members and submit it. And then Makana is going to do her magical video stuff after I forward the cloud link to her. And so that's worked. You had the one time that it broken, but then you fixed that. And so that worked every time. That is awesome. We appreciate it, ma'am, with your YouTubiness. So excellent. Well, you have her emails, and if you're going to DC, you need to tell me. My sister lives in DC. She
I won't
works
find out
for
till May.
okay, she works for the State Department. Yeah, and she actually lives in Falls Church, but she works in DC now. She's been with the State Department for I'm gonna say 15 years now.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's like a big part of the thing is you get placed into a certain part of the United States government and you
Okay.
work for a year.
right.
But like one of the positions that you could get would be working in the office of the VP. And I'm
Awesome.
feeling like Kamala's my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right?
but the average age of a person in that program is 32, and they're like usually like mid-career, kind of already established. And I'm like,
Go for it. Go
you
for
need
it.
me. Y'all
Yeah.
need me to liven some stuff up because this is a bit much.
Boring.
No. Come on, Kamala, let's do this. So I'm gonna try, but I definitely will let you guys know.
Yes. Yes. That is super awesome. Just the opportunity, knowing that that's there. So that's something you can apply for, as you're saying, multiple times. It's not a school related thing. It's however you learned about it.
No, my job actually sent it to me. I'm part of a current fellowship program. I just put it in the chat. And the process is a lot, but you
Oh.
also get like an international trip with your class. So you go to meet leaders in a different country. You also go across the United States a lot, on a bunch of different trips, and then you get a job in the
Wow.
highest levels of the federal government, like for shits and
If you
giggles
want
for a
to.
year.
Yeah. And the networking.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I think that is amazing. And yes, they definitely need some perspective broadening at all
Never
our different
had
levels of
Hawaiian.
government.
They've never had a Hawaiian, and they've never had a female Pacific Islander ever. And the only Pacific Islander they've ever had was one dude in 1983.
Just yesterday, you young whippersnappers, none of whom was alive then.
And he turned out to be
wow.
the mayor of Honolulu for 2 terms.
Eventually in his career is where he is
Yeah.
one. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, just being, it's a different world, I can just say moving from, being in the grocery industry, private industry to public industry. It's a very different thought process.
Yeah.
And the good people you meet in public service, right? In any type of government, in any type of thing like that, have the value of, what I try and do, what a lot of my coworkers try and do. We are here to take care of the people of Oregon. That is my point, right? That is why I went into public service, is because I believe in it and I believe in the services to be shared and to be educated and, with people. There are going to be people who are just there because, it's a job and it has amazing benefits and you get to retire, right? Okay. You're going to get that in everywhere. But I will say I have been very pleasantly surprised that I'm going to say over 90% of the people I have worked with in my 3.5 years in public service are there for the right reason. So it inspires me on that aspect. But yes, that is so super fabulous for you, lady. I'm gonna look at that because I think that is such a neat thing. So then they obviously have the different sections that they have these positions in. They have X number of positions with the different agencies who are a part of this program.
Carve out positions and then you apply for them, but like you get at least one of them.
So you have to be admitted to the program.
Yeah.
And then you
11 and 19. That's their range. And they usually have like 600 applicants. So
oh
really
wow.
hard. Yeah, there's a few rounds of interviews and a policy memo that gets picked by the president for you to move on. So like it's a long process, but I'm really excited for the opportunity. And I don't know, representation matters.
It
Doesn't really matter
does.
what I end up to be, but to be a fellow, to be able to go back home and be like, guys, we can
Yeah.
make a difference. We can do something. I think is the most important part.
And to share this with other people and say, look, you can do this too. Look what I did. Yeah, I totally agree. That is such a thing. Oh, I am so excited for you.
Thank you.
That is amazing, lady. Amazing. So
Well,
we
speaking
better
of
wrap.
that, do we want to do
Mhm.
the last question? Because I can't wait to hear the
Oh,
answer.
you're right. Wrap up something that happened in 2022. What's coming in 2023? I'll go. I'm graduating March of 2023. So whoop whoop. I know, right? And yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. Right now that is literally my goal. That's March. That's where I'm focused on. And I'll handle whatever else comes after that. I will say my eldest will be graduating high school June 1 or June 2nd. What I think it's June 2nd. So that is also thrilling that I will graduate with my bachelor's and he will graduate high school. So yeah, that's my 2023 6 months.
What's something that happened to you in 2022? Besides meeting us, because I know that was a big
Yeah, you guys. I guess 2022 mine was finding out about the AUMP program at WU. And so when I'm getting my bachelor's, I actually will have also the first certificate of a master's degree. So there's 3 certificates. So I'll have a third of it done. And I didn't know that was a thing that really wasn't on my radar to do. So 2022 kind of sent me down a different path that way that I was not expecting, that I have really enjoyed, and the people I've met in that.
I can go next. Trying to think. I will say my 2022 is better than 2020, and I'm sure 2021, but no, I don't really remember much of that year, more so of 2020. But I started a new job this year, and I'm hoping to just crank it out and finish WU. I'm just hoping to keep my head level for the rest of the year and just keep my motivation high. That's all I can hope for.
Um, 2022 has been a pretty awful year for me, but I'm learning how to be extremely independent. So I'd say that's a really like a big plus of it. And then what I'm excited for is to graduate in June with you, Trisha. And then to get my QMHA, hopefully like a week or 2 after that, I can go get it.
so proud of you guys. Something cool that has happened to me in 2022 is I'm getting the heck out of WU. I'm done. If Sarah passes me in this class, Sarah, please pass me in this class. Please, please, please. I do not want to do it again. I do not want to come back to WU. Please pass. Okay, I'm back. Something that I'm excited for and it's coming up in 2023. There's a lot coming up in 23 for me. I don't know. I'm just excited to like just work and not have to worry about classes dictating my job, because I really like my jobs, but I feel like I haven't given them all my time and energy. I also can't wait for what haircut I get next. It could be all gone. Just saying. Yeah. I had a great time, y'all. Y'all were awesome. Trust, I was a little sketch first meeting. I was like, who them? And I'm like, oh, that's my girl. And thank you for so much grace and everything with me, because we all know I need it. Also, I don't know what you guys did before I got here, but did you read the comments on our last team meeting?
Yeah.
So I was like, Sarah, you're so nice. If you didn't, like, we should totally read them because they're great. Did you read them, Trisha?
No, let me pull it up. I know I had, okay, here we go. Oh, 3, we made her cry. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, that is fun. I saw we had gotten the grades, but I hadn't had a chance to look at everything. I hadn't taken a chance. Well, that is awesome. Yes. I'm glad we're not the only ones crying through everything, through all the materials that she gives us, right?
Sarah, you gotta cry too.
Exactly. No, this was fabulous, ladies. I know. I really appreciate meeting all you guys. This is the best thing about doing this stuff, is making these connections, right? And yeah, keeping us updated as stuff moves on. If you think about different things and you're like, how's that chick from then doing? You know, we all got our email addresses, so shoot something. And if you get that fellowship, young lady, you're sending us an email with, you know, a picture of you with a party hat, champagne glass or something. Whatever it is. Yeah,
I
because
will
that will
invite y'all
be
to my grad party.
exactly. But I will give you some, you know, contact information for people down there so that, you know, at least my sister. But you know, she has a huge network there. So that's, you know, the way it is. But yeah, that's awesome. And Spirit, good luck on your test. We know you will get it, and then you'll be off and running. And Sierra, good luck on your new adventure at Woo. And you can do it. Yes, she can do it.
Good luck,
Um,
ma'am. Please reach
so
out if you need help.
yes,
Yeah, thank you guys.
yeah. Yeah, that's really it. Inform yourself on all of the different options that you got, right? So this has been lovely. Everybody enjoy your Christmas and your new year, and blessings.
Good luck with finals, y'all.
All right.
Bye,
Yeah, you
guys.
too.
Sarah, don't
Bye.
forget to pass us. Don't forget to. We know you're. You know we're your favorite. Pass us. Okay.
There's no fear there. Come on, girl. No fear.
Oh, but there's always fear for me. Okay. Y'all are amazing. Have a wonderful
Alrighty.
night.
See ya.